Good morning, folks. Everything new under the sun. Breaking news. Looks like war has started in Israel against Hamas, the folks in the Gaza Strip. This is significant. And why do I say that? Well, because just before the 7 year period, in my understanding of biblical eschatology, the events of the end of the world and the return of the Lord and all the events that are described in the Bible as of that time. What's happening before that, just before that 7 year period, is that war breaks out. And I said it before, I think we need World War III before the world will accept an Antichrist figure and a mark of the beast. We're gonna have to be desperate and to be in such a state where we will give up our sovereignty, our national currencies, and we will give all our freedom to uh, to a world leader, a world government. We will give everything up, and that's what the saying is. You give up your freedom for safety. That's what people will do, and that's what they've done over the history of the world. Ultimately, they always give up their freedom for safety. If they can have more safety, they'll give up any of that freedom that they ever had. So, at the beginning of the 7 year period is World War III, and I believe that includes the destruction of Damascus, which is Isaiah 17, a prophecy against the city of Damascus, which is one of the longest standing cities in the history of the world. And it's destroyed. It becomes a ruinous heap in Isaiah chapter 17. You can go read that. Also, Ezekiel 38, where there's an invasion in Israel by apparently by Russia or the people up in that direction. And that's interesting because is Russia in the news right now? They absolutely are. So the war of Gog Magog, I think, happens in conjunction with Isaiah 17 and the larger World War III, which is happening on the world stage, which the Antichrist will quote unquote save us from. Well, the breaking news is that war has been declared in Israel. This is absolutely incredible. There was a barrage of rockets that hit Israel, Tel Aviv, etc. There have been Israelis killed, and this apparently came to the surprise of Israel. Israel, their intelligence agency, they didn't see this coming. They weren't ready for it. Usually they go in, do preemptive strikes. They did not see this one. So this is jpost.com. Netanyahu declares war as at least 20 Israelis dead. It says the IDF was striking the southern region and communities near the Gaza Strip with multiple operational forces. It said Saturday afternoon in an operation it is calling Iron Swords. According to Hagari, some 2,200 rockets were fired from the Gaza Strip into Israeli territory. Simultaneously, there were several infiltrations into Israel. So this is quite a significant coordinated attack, very strategic. Numerous IDF units, including special units, have been deployed to Gaza. They weren't ready for this. They're just deploying now. They were on their back feet, and they're starting to get set up now. But there's I think 500 injured in hospitals, and that's old news, probably. Dozens of combat aircraft from the Air Force have recently struck several targets belonging to Hamas, a terrorist organization. Um, it goes on to say Israelis opposition leaders sent out a joint message of unity and support for the government on Saturday. So they're on a war footing. When both sides agree, that means they're at war. The message was sent out as constant sirens sounded in Israel, with multiple sirens being sounded as far as Jerusalem. This is a very difficult morning for the state of Israel. We give full support to the IDF. We are against all terrorism, and we need to hit it with a heavy and determined hand, it says. All right, so what's going on? So this is Al Jazeera. This is running news about it, breaking news. Fighters in Gaza there. Israeli says it's at war after Hamas launched a large-scale military operation against Israel, saying it was in response to the desecration of Al-Aqsa and increased settler violence. The group running the besieged Gaza Strip said it fired thousands of rockets and sent fighters in to Israel. So this is a significant event. Let's go. It looks like what I had highlighted before is disappeared. But all right, let's look at this. Um, Advisor to Iran's supreme leader congratulates Palestinian fighters. So the question is Iran behind it? Egypt and Turkey have come into the picture and said, all the parties need to act with restraint. After 500 Israelis are in hospitals. I think the count is 22 dead. It speaks to the various border crossings that are open. Again, this is AlJazeera.com. Um, here's what I want to read here. Emergency health services, quoted by local media, say 22 Israelis have been killed. That's apparently 11 minutes ago. And Israeli Health Ministry says 545 people have been hospitalized, and they're calling for blood donations already. Um, Tremendous attack, this is being called. Again, Israeli Special Services, the Mossad, apparently didn't know this was coming because they didn't do anything to stop it. They didn't do anything to prevent it. And the timing was interesting, it says. This took a lot of planning and strategizing from Hamas to do this undercover, not to be found out by Mossad. It is also 1 year to the day of the October War of 1973, when Israel was taken by surprise by Egypt and Syria. It appears maybe there is some symbolism there, it says. So, again, breaking news, airstrikes in Israel. There's some videos from X there related to this, and they're striking hard. But they're at war. Netanyahu says they are at war with Gaza, with Hamas specifically. So, war breaking out. What does it mean for you and I? Well, again, I think it increases in the last days to the point of World War III, global war, and that means there's going to be war in Israel, Iran, Syria, all around the world. The world will be at war. All the world's citizens will be so desperate that ultimately will call for peace and safety. In 2 Thessalonians 3, it talks about peace and safety. Is it First Thessalonians? First Thessalonians. Oh yeah, First Thessalonians 5. Sorry, I got my scriptures wrong there. First Thessalonians chapter 5. Speaking of the day of the Lord, now brothers and sisters, about the times and dates, we do not need to write to you, for you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. At an hour when nobody knows. No man knows the day or the hour. And that's speaking of the return of the Lord and the rapture of the church. But look at this. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction comes on them suddenly. Now, are they declaring there's peace and safety, and is that a happy thing that they're declaring? Hurrah, yay for peace and safety? Or are they calling out for peace and safety? Are they, when things are bad, are they saying, where is the peace and safety? And as soon as they start calling on that, it gets even worse. Destruction will come on them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. So, does it specifically apply to this situation? I don't know. Is the return of the Lord very soon? I think the clock is getting near midnight when the Lord is going to return, and we will see these wars and rumors of wars. What does Matthew chapter 24 say? There will be wars and rumors of wars. Of course, in that chapter it says, the end is not yet, for these things must come to pass. And so we should expect these things to be happening, but they lead us in a direction. Again, looking at the whole of Bible prophecy, eschatology, they lead us in a direction to say that, it's a warning to us that these are the last days. These are the end times. Things are wrapping up, winding up. As the hearts of men get evil and are evil continually, we will see more unrest, more war, more violence. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So we're getting close to that. Could it be at the beginning of that timeline of the return of the Lord, when the 7-year period starts, when the people of the world, the citizens, are actively calling for a savior to come save them from famine, from global economic collapse, from World War III? Could very well be. So, breaking news in Israel. This is pretty significant. Netanyahu declares war on Hamas. Big deal, guys. We'll continue to follow it. Thanks for watching. I'll leave it there, and we'll see you in the next video.